The official release of FM23 is nearly here, so we thought why not bring you guys some of the best Wonderkids that you can sign for under £30 million. We're going to have some that are right up the top end of that 30 million range and some that you can sign for £5–10 million, so there'll be something for everyone. We've got 25 players in today's list, all of different price points and abilities, but the key thing about these guys is you want to sign them as early as possible before their price skyrockets and they become world-class superstars. Hi everyone, Jake here for FMSCOUT, and as mentioned today we've got 25 Wonderkids under £30 million. We've got a few from every single position. I've tried to get one cheap player, one expensive player, for example, for each position, so there'll be something for everyone. The only players not included in this list are of course those guys over 30 million, so pretty much your unattainable Wonderkids, your Camavingas, Pedris, Gavis, Fatties, amongst many others, the guys that have already made the moves to the top clubs in world football. Before we get started though, let's try and hit 2,000 likes on the video, so smash the like button for us and also subscribe to the channel as we push for 150k subs. Football Manager videos every single day, so definitely worth hitting that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's get into player number 1. Now, with us having so many players in this list, I'm going to move through them quite quickly, but our cheap option in the goalkeeping position is 20-year-old Italian keeper Elia Caprilli, who plays for Bari. They are a Serie B club in Italy, and he's already got some exceptional attributes for his age, and he'll go on to be one of the best goalkeepers in world football. If you fancy a different option in goal, then 20-year-old French keeper Lucas Chevalier of Lille in Ligue 1 would be a great choice also. He's a keeper that seems like he's ready for first team football at a pretty high level, very well rounded, not too many flaws, and a great choice. But for me, there is none better this year than Dennis Seaman, 1 in terms of talent and 2 in terms of price. To be able to sign this guy for about £10–12 million from Stuttgart would be an exceptional deal. Physical's already looking very strong at 6'3". He's likely going to get even taller in your saves, 18 determination, and whilst he still needs some work in his mentals, it's to be expected at the age of 16. Some great goalkeeping attributes already, some that goalkeepers 5–6 years older would be dreaming of. I think he is a phenomenal keeper, one of those players that's seemingly nailed on to be a world beater in all of your saves, so pick him up for £10 million and you can even use him at the young age of 16. Before we show our next player, I would like to let you guys know I do have my own channel linked in the description down below where we have a Leicester save going on. A lot of you guys have came over from FMSCOUT to come check it out and say that you've really enjoyed it, so if you want to be one of those, I would massively appreciate it. We've just surpassed 10,000 subscribers on there, so thank you very much for that, and hopefully we can keep pushing to who knows how far. But anyway, back to the video and to our left backs. We've got 2 strong choices at left back, and the first one is 20-year-old Frenchman Adrien Truffert, who plays for Rennes in Ligue 1. Wanted at the start of my save by Dortmund, shows there will be interest in the boy. For about £7 million, you can get a guy who is super well-rounded and has the potential to be one of the best in his position in the world. He'll likely be competing with Miguel Gutierrez, though, a Spanish left-back who is of a similar price point, a similar age. It seems Gutierrez is better suited to bombing forward and playing in those crosses and dribbling past people, but either way they're both phenomenal choices, so scout them and see if you're able to pick one of them up. But if you're looking for a right back, then look no further than Divine Wrench, who plays for Ajax in the Eredivisie. £14 million or so will net you a 19-year-old who is super versatile, able to play centre-back, right-back and defensive midfield. Already capped for his national team, he's 5'10" and has been a fairly consistent starter for Ajax over the last couple of years. But in my opinion, the better option would be Nathan Patterson of Everton. Now I know you're all thinking, Jake, he's over 30 million. Yes, he's the only player whose valuation is over 30 million. I just wanted to show you him, 1, because he looks phenomenal and he's a model citizen at the age of 20, but 2, in my save, Everton got relegated and he was able to be picked up for around 20–30 million. So that's just something to keep an eye out for if Everton do go down in your save. We're getting through these players quite quickly. If you are enjoying, don't forget to smash that like button for us. But now we have a centre-back from Cameroon available for about £2–3 million, makes him a very good good option. It is Enzo Boyomo, who plays for Albacete, a team in the second division. He could easily play in the top division of Spain, maybe even for one of the best clubs eventually at full growth. So to be able to get him for so cheap is a great pickup. Two more expensive options at centre-back though come in the form of Hellas Verona's Diego Capolo, an 18-year-old who is 6'4" already, great physical attributes, really nice mentals and very good technicals as well in terms of the defending side of the game. He's definitely not a ball player, but at the age of 18 you can mould this guy to be that hard tackling centre-back in your side for years to come. And if you wanted a ball playing centre-back to partner him up with, my favourite Wonderkid centre-back so far is Antonio Silva of Benfica. About £25 million for the 18-year-old would be a great deal because he already looks very good. 6'2", great physicals, very good technicals as well. So composed for a young player with great passing range, tries long range passes. This guy is the ultimate ball playing defender Wonderkid. Moving into midfield, we have a German 16-year-old playing for Bayern Munich by the name of Noel Aseko Nikili. This versatile midfielder has some great attributes at the age of 16, plenty of room left to grow to become one of the world's best. 6 foot tall makes him quite a physical presence, but realistically, he is going to be a playmaker in your side within a couple of years. Plenty of determination as well. This guy will be phenomenal. From one European giant to another, we now go to PSG, where you will find Warren Zaire-Emery, a much talked about Wonderkid of FM23 already. Give this defensive midfielder the chance and he will grow into one of the world's best players, not just one of the best in his position. One option you might not have heard too much about though is 16-year-old Archie Gray of Leeds. Whilst he is available on an approach to sign deal, he doesn't want to talk or negotiate terms. We're managing Man City here and even then he doesn't want to join us, but to be able to pick him up for £10 million, a young Englishman with plenty of potential, great attributes in a lot of areas. Young Englishmen always seem to command very high transfer fees, so train him for a few years and you could be looking at a phenomenal player. And if you're in the lower divisions, maybe you can loan him in to your side. Okay, moving into our attacking players now, and I'm just going to skip through 3 very quick because you should all know about them right now, and if you don't, take their names down and just sign them, don't even think about it. We've got Andrea Sheldulup of Nordsjælland, Endrick of Palmeiras, and Arda Güler of Fenerbahce. If you somehow didn't know about those 3 players already, now you do. We've spoken about them enough on the channel, but basically sign them and you are sorted. And it's kind of a similar situation for this player, an 18-year-old Spaniard playing for Las Palmas. It is Alberto Malero, available for £6 or £7 million. This guy is definitely the real deal. Great passing technique and vision, very good first touch finishing. Technically, he is phenomenal for an 18-year-old. Yes, his physicals do need a little bit of work, but his mentals are okay, pretty nicely balanced, and he can play anywhere across that front line. For that kind of value, he's a great player, plenty of potential to grow. By the age of 20, 21, I imagine he will be one of the better players in La Liga if given the chance. Speaking of players who could make you a massive profit, 18-year-old Japanese national Takuro Nakai of Real Madrid would be a great pickup. Now, he's always been one of them where he's had very good attributes in some areas and really poor attributes in others. I mean, you only have to look at his flair, his dribbling, his technique to see, wow, this guy's got great attributes. But then you look at his balance at 4. I don't know how that's possible. An agility of 9, strength of 8, no composure, no anticipation, can't finish very well. He's a bit of a mixed bag, but in this save at least, he has a £4.6 million release clause. Hopefully it'll be something similar in your guys' saves, because I actually think he's worth that investment. He could definitely turn out to be a good central midfielder. I don't think he's ever going to set the world alight, but for 4.6 mil, I think you could easily develop him into a 30, 40 million pound player, and who knows, maybe you'll get it so right that he'll be a great player for you. Another Real Madrid youngster who seems extremely cheap when compared to his talent is 18-year-old Spaniard Julen Jean Guerrero, available to be signed at around 8 million. He has great technical and mental attributes, lacking in his composure and in some other areas. He definitely needs a lot of growth to be a top tier player, but you can see the basis of what he'd be building up from is very strong, particularly those technicals, very good in all areas. At full growth, he'd make a great number 10, so get your scouts on all of these players, and I'm sure at least a few of them will turn out to be great signings for you. Okay, we're nearly there. Final 6 players. On the right hand side of the pitch, we have Angelo of Santos. £15 million or so will net you one of the best Brazilian youngsters around at 17, 16. He's only going to get better, and based on how he was last year, you want him cutting inside onto that left foot. He will cause problems for the opposition. Speaking of causing the opposition problems, Arsene Zakarian would be a great choice. Playing for Dynamo Moscow, the 19-year-old Russian is already capped for their national team on a few occasions and has great attributes already. He's going to get snapped up in your save at some point. Dortmund want him here, Chelsea want him in real life, and it looks like he will be making his way to one of the top 5 European leagues sometime in the future. A phenomenal player with a great future and great potential. What a signing he would be. We're heading to the Championship for our next 2 players, both of which play for the same club. In Watford of all places, you will find 2 of the best youngsters around. We have Yasser Asparilla as the first one, an 18-year-old Colombian who has some very, very good attributes for his age, particularly some very nice technicals, natural in every position in that attacking midfield line, whether it be right, left or centre, and he is either-footed. 2 appearances for Colombia, 1 goal, available for about £20 million. You could do a lot worse than this guy, but a slightly better version of Yasser Asparilla would be João Pedro. Now, he's better mainly because he's 2 years older, but it looks like he's able to be signed here for £30 million. Dortmund want him. He can play up front or anywhere along that front line. He'd be a very good inside forward, I would have thought, but you only have to look at him for a second to see the talent that this man has. Physicals, very, very well rounded, as quick as he is strong. Great technical attributes to go alongside some nice mentals. Watford have got 2 gems on their hands. And we finish off with 2 strikers. The first one is an obvious name in Youssoufa Moukoko, but he is actually available for under 30 million, which is great because, I mean, just look at him. He looks so good. 16 finishing, dribbling and technique, great acceleration, agility, and he's really breaking onto the scene in real life as well now. Because his valuation seemed a little too good to be true, I spoke to his agent and they said, yes, we'd accept £30 million for him, but he doesn't want to leave Dortmund. He apparently only wants to go on loan, but maybe you could sort out a loan deal with a buy option. His contract is running up at the end of the first season. He likely will sign a new deal with Dortmund, but if you can prevent that in some way, you could get him for a bargain, because as soon as he signs that long-term deal and starts playing for them, £30 million is going to be way cheaper than what you're ever able to sign him for. And finally, we're here with the last player. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe for more, and check out my channel, linked in the description, if you would be so kind. I really do think you would enjoy it. But we finish off with the 19-year-old Brazilian striker from Santos, Marcus Leonardo. Very well rounded. It's saying a poacher would be his best role, but I think in terms of what's used more commonly in FM tactics nowadays, he would be a very strong pressing forward. 5'9", great attributes all around, particularly those mentals. He really could be a great player for your team. Someone to lead the line for years into the future, and he's not so heavily sought after at the start of your game that he's impossible to sign. So before those big clubs find out about him, sneak under the radar, purchase him, and he will do wonders for you. But there you go, that's our list of 25 players that you can sign for under £30 million, all of which are great deals. Hopefully there was something for everyone. I tried to pick a few names that we haven't spoke about so far on the channel. So thank you for watching, everyone. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.